Okay, we are currently looking at the Janus workspace for web, and it's loaded with features to make it easier for both bots and humans to collaborate on a conversational experience. This is just loaded with some sample data. Here you can see this is the current workspace that I'm in, and I can switch to any number of these uh, test workspaces that I've set up, or I can create a new workspace. And all I need is my Google account to create a new workspace, or if I want, I can connect an existing Slack workspace and manage that all through here. This is just a workspace I created with my Google account, and this is the current chatbot. And I can select a different chatbot, or I can connect another chatbot. I can connect as many chatbots as I want to this workspace and manage them all through a single workspace. So what we're looking at here is the default view, which is the inbox. And we want to encourage you to connect a chatbot to Janus and start using it right away so that you have all of your message data flowing into this inbox. And you can see here as I roll my mouse over a message received, this is just a test here, there's a call to action. So you can click me to train AI. And you can see here that you can actually go right to the dialog flow intent. It'll take you right to the intent, and you can edit the intent, add training phrases, update the response. And this one here, if it doesn't find a matching intent, it'll just say open dialog flow. And so at that point, you can create a new intent. So it's either going to find a match or it's not going to find a match. And you can either edit an existing intent or you can create a new one. It's much easier to train dialogflow and you can work directly from the transcript like this. Now there's also the ability to chat live. You just send a message, and it'll click enter, and it'll pause dialogflow and send your message to your end user. We've also built this thing called private messaging. So all I need to do is, there's multiple members of this workspace. And if I wanted to, bring another human into the loop, I don't necessarily need to assign the conversation to them. Maybe I just have a question, or it's a customer support issue and we want to solve the issue together. I just need to type the @ sign and I can mention a user, you around, and then you can see here, I'm able to have a private conversation because this message is italicized. The user's name is italicized. Only they get it. The end user doesn't get this message. And you can see, visible only in this workspace. So this allows workspace members to collaborate on helping an end user, which is really helpful for support. So is also having access to user data. So you can see here, see user details, and you can expand that. And you can see here that I can just show the attributes, and I have information. This is all fed directly from Facebook. And so that's really helpful as well. I can hide or show that depending on what kind of real estate I need. Now we have some standard features. This one here, you can see the stars lit up because I've marked it as a follow-up. If I wanted to mark something as read or unread, I just click this. You can see how this turned bold, right? See how I can toggle. And you can delete a conversation and you can move it to the done folder, which is here. These are all standard features that you should expect from any conversational inbox. Here I have all conversations. I have ones, I can see the ones that have been unassigned. And this one here has been assigned to me. So I'm just going to mark this as read. And we also have the ability to label conversations. So you can see here, if I want to label this conversation, it's already been labeled customer support. And we'll just call this, I'll create a new label, recent orders. So no spaces, there it is, and I can just, there we go. So I've labeled this conversation recent orders and customer support. They're kind of like tags, but we call them labels. And that way, if I wanted to filter conversations by a particular label, I could just click this, and you can see here are the labels, and it'll filter the conversations. I can add other filters as well, like if I want to see those that I've marked as follow-up, uh, and those that have unread. So that produced none. So I would just get rid of that. That's a filter I've applied, and this is that label. So you have different ways of accessing it, which is really helpful when you have a lot of conversations that you need to manage, to be able to label them and then prioritize them. So this is a nice interface for managing conversations, and it lives completely outside of Slack. I just needed to sign in with my Google account for this one. Every chatbot has some settings, so let's look at those settings. And notifications are a core feature of Janis, because what we do is we monitor your AI and we'll alert you and bring you into the loop. And we'll do that. We'll use automation for that. So we have obviously these pre-built alerts, like when the bot has no trained response, it'll alert you. And you can also enable or disable audio. This is all done in the browser. So using a standard web browser, you'd want to opt into your browser notifications, and that will activate all of these, or at least the ones that you enable or disable. And you might not want sound for some, and you want sound for others. This is if a user there's some negative sentiment that Janis detects. Users maybe is frustrated with your bot, you want to be brought into the loop so you can retain them, or they're frustrated with your business, or something happened. They didn't get an order they received, didn't get an order, and they were hoping to receive it. So they're angry or frustrated with that. Here, if a user explicitly requests help, or Janis will alert you and bring you into the loop. Errors and warnings are really helpful. Maybe you try and send a message to a Facebook user and it's outside the 24-hour window. So Janis will alert you, and we relay messages directly from the Facebook Messenger platform. But this is the most valuable of these alerts. So every dialog flow intent can have its own alert. So this is just a real estate bot, and these are all my intents. And you can see this one is selected. So I know that this intent is for like when a user wants to see a property. They want to so I would want to get alerted for that. I also have an intent for leads. So anything where a user says, "Oh, I'm looking for to buy a house," so I would want to get alerted for that. But I have all these different intents, and I don't need to get alerted for everything. There's just certain events in a conversational experience where I need to get an alert because I want to be able to jump in there, or there's got to be some call to action. So alerts are set on a user basis. Every member of a workspace sets their own alerts. And we have bot alerts, so the bot will alert them, and then we also have system alerts. So when somebody on my team in this workspace, they assign a conversation to me, I'll get notified. If we do any of that, there's that private messaging I showed you. If somebody mentions me, I can get notified as well. And here, there's just some additional things. So you can you have a name. So you can change the name, and it'll just update here. This is just the name that Janis will refer to your bot. And you have a dialog flow agent. So maybe you have different, one dialog flow agent that you're testing with, and one that you're using in production. And you can switch the dialog flow agent at any time. Every chatbot has a configuration. So this is a configuration where I'm using a mini chatbot, and I have a Facebook page connected to that. But I can, change the configuration. Maybe I'm using only Janis, and I have just our one-click integration to Facebook, or I'm using Bot Copy, which provides a web chat widget that doesn't use Facebook. It just uses Dialogflow. Or if you're a developer, you can use one of our developer toolkits. So every chatbot has a different configuration, and you can manage your configuration here, and you can always change it. So maybe you start with only Janis and do a one-click integration with Facebook, and then say to yourself, well, I think I need some to store data and be able to manage my leads, and I want to create some flows. So you might add like ManyChat. Labels, you can these are the labels that I set up, and you can manage those here. Now let's look at the workspace level. Janis is an ongoing conversation, and you can see I'm getting just a number of different alerts across all the workspaces that I'm members of. So Janis will alert me, and I can act on these. It doesn't matter what workspace I'm active in. And then we have user management, which is really helpful. These are just, I have 2 different accounts, but you can see this one that I'm signed in with, I'm the workspace owner. And as the workspace owner, I have access to all of these features, and I can't turn them off. But if I can, I can train AI, I can chat live, I can invite and remove and change permissions for users. I can access billing information, and I can chat with Janis. So role-based access, and if you're the workspace owner, you can't disable any of those. Michael Nathanson here, he has admin access, and he has admin access because all of these have been enabled for him. If I don't want him chatting live with our end users, I just want him to see the transcripts, because maybe his role is just to train AI, not to chat live. I can disable that for him, disable that feature, click save, and now you can see he doesn't have admin access. So admin access is enabled when all of these are selected, or you can set permissions on a user basis. Maybe I have someone on the accounting team, and I just want them accessing billing. I don't need them to access all of these other features. So I could just click save, and then their permission profile has been added. And if you need to invite users, you just click this button, and you can invite collaborators into your workspace. You just enter their emails, and you can, there we go. And you can add multiple emails and define permissions for those users right at that point. Janis will send an email invitation with a link, and they'll be added to the workspace. So role-based access is a major feature. It's really helpful for agencies to collaborate with their clients on chatbot projects. If you click on the top right and you go to profile, this is just the account that I've signed in with. And if I go to system alerts here, if I want to get notified when the Janis bot sends me a direct message, I can set that here for myself. And then I can jump to all the workspaces, and I can see ones that I'm a member of or the workspaces that I own. So a lot of these are demo workspaces that we've set up. And then you would just go back to Workspace, and you can see that everything is really fast. Everything loads quickly, making it easy to manage a large number of conversations and at scale. So keep that in mind. Hope you get value out of the Janis Workspace, because the Janis Workspace for web, definitely we can do a lot of things that we couldn't do in Slack, because we have full control over the user experience. Okay, take care.